Yeah. I got, we coming in. We coming in like that. I'm gonna try to get that going. The countdown clock. Put a little music behind there. Get people going on. So anyway, here we go. Episode 53. Yeah, that's year 3. We back better than ever. You know what I'm saying? See a little something. yeah, get a little something to bounce into it.
That's Knight Rider. That's my Knight Rider.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? We just this is we don't want to give too much though. But yeah, so anyway, it's Heyward CPA Live. We live and direct. Happy post-day weekend from wherever you had going on. I can't believe that was quick though. Labor Day came in like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even believe it. So summer is over.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wrap. It's done. So like it's over. We here. We are, ready for the fall. We got our official good morning from
Good morning.
What I'm saying? Good morning. So as you were. so as we go, we here today, man. So it was an interesting week. Labor Day was pretty good, indicated by my shirt. So I had to wear something, But you know what though? Because I know your time and effort goes across and this is not a thing. This acronym here. I don't know if you may not have heard the acronym, but I think you might really like what this acronym stands for.
All right, bring it on.
You specifically. So I'm going to take first. Well, if you really don't care or nothing, it's just Duke football, which you may or may not know, as I've been a supporter of for a very long time, and season ticket holder. We had we won a little football game on Monday. Just to show it, we weren't supposed to win the game by all the prognosticators and all that other stuff. So no one believed it. So we won the game. All right. So everybody's on us right now as it goes. But we got another game today and all that. But not here for that right now. But the story is this. 2 years ago, we won 3 games, got a new coach. Coach came in. His name is Mike Elko. He came in, changed mentality, completely changed mentality. And this was his mantra off top: grind. And grind stands for grit, relentless effort, integrity. Now is the time, and dependability. That's it. So this sounds like you. So it's like, and that's what he took this and took a bunch of young men that people forget in college football. I do too, because they're huge human beings. Like they're huge. Like college football and college basketball. They're not normal sized people. Like,
right.
So you forget that they're like 18, 19, 20. Like you just forget, So, and then they're on these platforms, and you're like, oh, we look at them really on low key like they pros. Like you don't think about it, but they're teenagers. So, and young adults. So he took this, and in the first year, he instilled it. Got them to buy in and say, yo, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're here to win now. We're here to get better now. And won 9 games last year. This year, schedule looked like a punishment for winning 9 games. And so far, the first game, which was supposed to automatically be an L, won the game. Now, didn't play perfect, won the game. Now, what he said, and where this pertains to all of us, he said that the result of the game was an external validation of the work that they were already doing. So the thing is not that, okay, now everybody, because everybody's on the tip. This, they started the weekend on Dion, and we probably didn't get, because we were not even supposed to be close.
Right.
Vegas 13.5, down 13.5. Right? Came up with that. Dion, way bigger story, way much more. You know, that's a whole nother story. That's another level. The things that taking this same deal, he got a different mantra, but he taking this same deal on what he had to instill in his locker room because he wasn't supposed to win either.
Right.
He wasn't supposed to win, and then there was a lot of, you know, racial undertones and other like that, and he was coaching in the HBCU, so you know now he's with the big boys. There was a lot of that type mess going on with him, but the reason that, and then you obviously this came to me in the 10 seconds before we started because we didn't talk about it, but that belief, that inner belief, and a lot of the stuff we talk about internal, you know, when you run in a business is not different because the outside is not necessarily going to validate you. There's going to be times, you know, sports events happen in a 3-hour, 4-hour period. Business events happen over quarters, like calendar quarters, years. And there's times when quite frankly, it isn't. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you hit the grind.
Your volume is going in and out a little bit.
Oh, I don't know why. Oh, it's probably because I'm moving. I'm gonna turn myself up
because you're excited.
Yeah, well, I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I'm trying to make the big points here. Let's see. This should be better now. If you don't hear me now, I don't know what to do. So, yeah, I gotta stop moving away from the mic. That was the problem. But anyway, in business, there's gonna be times, ups and downs. They're gonna be terrible, and you have to latch on to something. We've used purpose. We've talked about purpose. You know, your purpose. Maybe your purpose you stick to. You know, they use grind at Duke football. They do football. You know, different things have the Duke basketball got something. Carolina football, Carolina basketball. You know, any team that's trying to achieve something is not just in sports. There's always a galvanizing thing. It's interesting, you know, for the conversation we were just having about other stuff, you know, about politics. No difference, really.
Right.
Like, you get a purpose, you know. I mean, we can release your galvanizing position if you want to, because we got to broadcast on what you're doing, by the way. You can't just not say nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to let people know. I mean, but so I just thought about it. I mean, I was going to wear the jersey, but I said, yo, I'm going to wear this grind shirt because this is from last year. And to use that point and to be like, you know, he came up with something. So you come up with these pillars, just like, you know, I've discussed with us in the firm, pillars. These are the pillars that we're built off of. So everything we do is back here. It's about the grind. They use grind because how we use grind in popular conversation, you know, I'm grinding now, you know, I'm grinding, you know. He took it and said something because everything is a grind. I mean, if you want something, you're going to grind. If you want to lose 1 pound, you have to have a 3,500 calorie differential. So you either starve yourself or you're going to have to, you know, if you eat, you're going to have to burn.
Right.
Yeah. So that's 1 pound. That's one. So anything you want, you're going to have to put in relentless effort. And even when things aren't going your way, you have to put relentless effort in. So, you know, I just thought I'd start off with a little rambling about that.
That's strong.
Yeah, I mean, and it can take us wherever we want to go. But I was just saying that, you know, the people, it's rough out here at times, but it's not impossible. It's rough. It's a challenge, but you hold on to something, you know. And for our purposes, and what we talk about in coaching, accounting, client services, it cannot be the money.
Right.
It just can't be.
It's just the byproduct of, right? So
Yeah, because sometimes there's no money, and you still have to, as an owner, you have to go work with the same veracity and relentlessness. If you got 100,000 in the bank, if you got $100, because the chances are what you do today. So where you are today is a reflection of what you did 3 months ago. That's a saying that people say. So where you are right now is a reflection. So you're on today. The day is September 9th. All right. And 3 months from now would be what? That would be December 9th. Wow. So where you are, and whether it's scientifically true or not, it's a good way to look at it, because what happened at June 9th is over. It's done. It's a wrap. Can't do nothing with that. But you could control what you do September, October, November. So that's what I got, man. But it comes down to culture. But other than that, what you got going on? It sounds like your stuff is way more exciting than what I just finished talking about.
No. I mean, it's all foundational, right? I think it also, we keep saying the same thing, and I think, it's the continued conversation, and because we only retain a certain amount of information, especially when we're communicating the information out, right? It's about receiving it, right? So you setting the tonality, sports, business, I am in a political space that never thought I would put my foot into. Trying to be represent, to support the community and
the kids
and small business, and to kind of share, my core values, things that I believe in, things that I've implemented within my own family, structure to help them grow, and things that I've had in the business world, and I keep building off of those pillars, right? Have those pillars. So I'm trying my hand at something I never thought I would do. And it's interesting because I'm growing. I mean, I'm growing. Anything new, at any new level, you're always starting at the bottom. You got to work your way up. And so now it's like, and this is like, it's very much the same as starting a business. There's a different.
I was just about to say that.
there's a different tone to it, because in a business, there's competition if you are in a competitive market, and you may get some of that competition, controversy, making sure that you're providing the right service, the right value behind the service or the product that you're selling. How do you get clients? So it's all of the same, except this one here hits people right in the gut. It's about making sure that their voices, their opinions matter, making sure that they get the proper support, making sure that budget is balanced correctly. There's always an imbalance in politics, and it just seems as if things get carried unnecessarily, right? So when I say it's the same as starting a business, whatever you think throw it out, right? You understand what you know, but you more or less like, all right, what don't I know? How do I structure? And what is my support system? What is the information? What are the resources available to me to begin to cut my teeth on this opportunity to grow something? Because you gotta have the long game in process. It's not a short game, right? And then you just take the necessary steps, and you go, let me plant this here. Okay. Let me plant this here. And when you take a step back, you're starting to see things being put together. So I'm just trying my hand. Like I said, I'm putting my best foot forward, work effortlessly to to be a part of the development of people, the community, families. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Well, check it out then. I mean, since we're here and you just did this Friday, I'm gonna ask you some questions. So this is totally impromptu. So, but I'm going to ask you in like this, because the first thing I thought about, I said, yeah, it's kind of like starting a business because you're starting a new venture.
Mm-hmm.
So from the time you filed, which was what, July 31st? Was it July 30th or June? It was July.
It was July.
Yeah. So between then and now,
Mm-hmm.
what's one thing, just one thing that you say you learned so far, just in general, by doing this venture, by doing this? What's one thing that you learned?
I've learned. I think the deepest thing I've learned is proper organization.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say proper organization, I mean got to make sure this thing is organized. The filing cabinets here are properly organized because you have so much coming at you. You can't take on everything, even though you're going to do a lot. Like I'm doing a lot. Mm-hmm. And so in me trying to be a voice of, I'm still doing behind the scenes work. A lot of it that should be delegated out, but it's not that big of a thing. But you still have to be organized because overwhelmness is always right around. Yo, you take 5 steps and overwhelmness is like, hey, you remember me?
What's up? What's up? Yeah, you know, how you doing?
You remember me, and then there's another piece to that. In business, I can teach, I can coach, I can help, roll up my sleeves like I normally like to do, and get in the mix with people and get it done, get it done, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
This, you get in there, you don't leave it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of creating like a legacy initially. In business, you create a legacy when you're gone, or you get too old and your family takes it on, or somebody else buys the company, your branding, your models, and it carries on, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This once you in it, every day is a legacy. Every day is your because it has to stay consistent, because you have to be able to move people forward and help people find a way. I have this word grow, that I use, grow. Goals, reality, options, and a way forward. Right? What are your goals? What are the goals? What is the current reality? What are the options or opportunities? And then we gotta find a way forward. Because at the end of the day, if we're not implementing and taking action, I mean, we're just gonna keep going round and round in circles. So those are my 2 things.
Yeah, and like a true politician, I asked for 1, you gave me 2. Good job. That's exactly right. That's perfect. That was a perfect answer. So, but what you came from that is very interesting, the organization aspect. And I think everything we started with, talking about the football thing, whatever, is organization in your business. And it starts with the organization of thoughts. Because we talk a lot about processes, and we talk, in the abstract, we talk about procedures, we talk about processes, E-Myth, scalability, all this other stuff. IDP, all right? And so organization is the root for success organization it's not an option. I'm just gonna say it's not even an option. And it's something that over the last month and a half I've been working on myself, like just to take all these notes I have and put them in Evernote, and then organize the Evernote where I can actually go back and find the stuff.
Right.
That's the, things like that.
Right.
Even this morning, right before we got on, I actually wrote down the workflow for starting this live stream, which I was like, it just came to me. I was like, well, I need to write this down because there's certain things that we can have some of our virtual assistants do to get us ready. That I'm like, why am I doing this? But the instinct, the inclination is to say, yeah, I need somebody to go set up the live stream, and you go find somebody and you give them absolutely no direction. You just say, yeah, just go figure that out, get it started. And then you disappointed by they didn't do it the way you would have done it or the way you wanted it done. So that's where the organization comes in. When you organize yourself, and when you're leading a process, and you're leading a process, or organization, a movement, a campaign, a team, if the leader is not organized, it makes things difficult.
Right.
Because it makes it that much harder to delegate. Because if your thoughts aren't organized, you can't. And not only that, there's the organization, then there's the culture, the grind, the goal, whatever you use to make it make sense. Internally we got dark on what I think I changed Dara. I think I changed Dara. But anyway, it's having these things, and it's important, the human aspect too, because it's weird, you're like, do these acronyms really work? Like, why do we really need these acronyms? If you think about it, you're like, why? But especially now,
they're mile markers, I think, though, right?
Yeah, and we rock with short characters. You see, everything, once again, our favorite foil, social media. What's popular now? TikTok, 60 seconds or less. That's what I need, 60 seconds or less. So that's the so if that's the prevailing mindset, then you have 60, that means you probably got 40 seconds. Well, you got less than that because you have to capture an attention immediately. But to make a point to the masses, you have to do it within 60 seconds. And really 5 seconds, because if it's not like a cat or some crazy skit, they're not going to pay attention. So that's what people that could care less. So you got people that care, but you don't want to take that for granted. You want to make it something that their mind can clamp on. Could clamp on and say, yeah. And the difference between something mindless is you want something that, because underneath, like each one of these letters, there's a larger story. Right. There's a larger point. So you want to take it, but the amount of organization it takes to do this, it's not impossible, but it's like it takes some time. You gotta come up with, but in order to do that, you have to be organized in your thought to be like, what do I want? What do I want it to be? What do I want? This mission, this team, this organization, this initiative, what is it? So that the leader can share it with everybody else and everybody can understand it. So, you can even get the masses, hey, when it's just you understand it, that's fine. The minute you add a second person, or you add one person, and now it's two of you, you have to think like the masses if you're going to really be efficient. You don't have to, but if you can, you'll be more efficient, because now the first person you add is indoctrinated to what you have, so that person can actually teach persons 2 through 10 or whatever, which you just tweaking it. But you have to, I mean, the amount of organization is crazy. And that's well, I'm not even, we see.
Hold on.
What happened, son?
You, man, you. Where'd you go?
Yo, my power might have went out. Did it go out? No.
Where'd you
No,
go?
Am I here? Where we at?
Am I good? You're here.
I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah, you here too.
I'm here. Good. All right. I'm just adjusting.
What the blood? Yo, something's going on around here.
Yeah. Well, you know the weather's supposed to be really bad.
Yeah, the weather's bad. We under duress, as we said. It's live TV.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm just.
I mean, that's why we do this. It's out of control. We had a little blip in coverage.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, come on, man. You gotta do this organization so that you can spread culture throughout. And then you get accountability factors, because everybody knows what we about.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing, man. And it is underestimated among small business owners. Totally. I mean, totally. Like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had that many conversations with people coming back to me. So, people telling me. I've told people, and I tell people all the time. I haven't heard too many people to be like, hey, this is what we do. Now, it might be like, yeah, they do what I tell them to do. That's what our culture is. What I say goes, which is not a culture at all. It's a recipe for you to be working for yourself, by yourself. but a culture, I don't know how many people think about it.
I think people think about it. I think a lot of people think about it, but it's the how, right? So I guess I kind of just, once you create framework structure. So what I mean by that is, I think one of the tools that was given to me at a very young age by my pops was, and I realized this as I got older and I became a father, right? Was there were times in raising my kids that I stumbled across something and I was like, whoa, what is that? But it's like I had an invisible toolbox there because I know what it looks like. I've been around it. So let me go into my toolbox and see which tool I needed to, kids, family, wife, relationship, whatever it is, right? Run across these things. And I'm like, wait, well, what is this? Well, how, so it's kind of like the same that I do in business, except now there's some stuff I could tap into. There's a visible toolbox that when I have mentors or people that's already doing what I'm trying to achieve to do, I take that information. That's a part of my toolbox. But then you begin to create the awareness of what okay, at this present moment, these are the tools that I need for this particular job at this moment. And you can still think ahead, right? And then as you're doing that, you go, okay, you start to kind of, and I hope I'm explaining this correctly, you start to begin to understand where your deficits are, how you learn, what you learned, and you go, okay, here's a general way of picking this up, because I know I'm gonna have to tell somebody else, you gotta have to go in that toolbox, use that tool on that situation, right? And so kind of helping them create an invisible toolbox along the way, because not everybody's going to see the vision, which we talk about, shareholder, stakeholder, your family being part of your business, and you have to, whether they're in it or not, you still have a responsibility to bring them along with the vision that you're trying to achieve. But how do you bring that along when they don't see what you see? Right. So again, you're leading the way through action and implementation. Right. And you got to hold steadfast on that, because they're going to hit you with their level of not.
Oh yeah.
Right. Consciously, unconsciously, they're going to hit you with their level of not. And you got to say, okay, I get that, understand that, let me keep moving forward. And then people will try to they'll catch on. Right. So same thing for family, same thing for staff. And I think why we deal with people, because that's all we ever dealing with. That's why we talk a lot about systems and processes, because you can see what's being missed in the process. You can't treat the people. You can't treat the people per se.
No. Yeah, you can't.
But you can treat the process. You can treat the process, right? And
absolutely.
So that's kind of, that's my 2 cents.
So 2 cents on it.
It's my Frosted Flake version.
Well,
Tony the Tiger. I used to love. I can't eat that no more though.
I know. I know. I used to be my joint. Frosted Flakes.
Late night. Man.
Oh yeah. yeah. That's according to what you were doing. Yes, late night, definitely a place to be with the Frosted Flakes. But no, you hit on a lot of stuff. I mean, we got interested. We late because this was a busy week, man. It was a short week, so we a little fatigued, coming into here. It was a short week. I mean, we will get in. I'll just mention that you actually, along with you had your first forum, and that was different. That was very different. I was there. That was real different. It was different because communication style and everything is different. Tactics, strategy, it's all different. So you did a really good job though. I think you landed your what they say in gymnastics. You stuck your landing. So
I stuck to my landing.
Your landing. Yeah, you stuck your landing. So, but it's it's the thing like entrepreneurship. You go in, you do something, you don't know how it's gonna turn out. You go in, you're ready. Same thing you're saying, when you organize as best you can, when you go into something and that you're uncertain of, if you're organized and you stick to your culture, good things can happen. So that leads to preparation. Preparation is key to everything.
What is it? Poor preparation leads to piss poor performance.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's true. I mean, that's how it is, man. Because when you're unprepared, that's when the other things that hang around come out: fear, self-doubt, questioning things. So people think I was actually having this thought. I don't know, one of the random places I went is that we got our other special guest here. Look at your boy.
Yeah. It's my guy right there.
Yeah. So he's in here. So, but no, I was sitting around.
The show is now started, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, of course, the show is started now. So what I was thinking this week in riding around, I was like, look, it's interesting in business. You get people think that that business owners, entrepreneurs aren't scared, like they, fear, and a lot of this stuff is media, is media related. They make everything seem, wonderful. And you remember we talk all the time about getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Well, one way to get comfortable being uncomfortable is by preparing yourself. Is understanding what's going on and being prepared for, well, if this happens, I have a contingency. I know what I'm going to do. You have a center,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this stuff even goes into spirituality and religion too. But that your center, your purpose, your place is where you are. I just challenge people when they apply this stuff to your business, man. Apply it because you're going to be. He broke away this time. I'm
for
still
here.
Yeah, I don't know what. I know what happened.
You tried to get rid of me, man.
Never that, B. Never that. Hold up, man.
Oh, you put the
I don't even know how this happened.
Oh, you put a spotlight. I'm looking at it. Spotlight on.
Yeah, but I don't even know how I did it. That's what I'm saying. We on live TV. This is a live thing.
Do something different right here.
Missing, then I come back. Yeah, I don't even look. I was about to drop some real good stuff too, and it just like threw me off. But look, man. Now you see, man. I say religion thing went crazy, right? See that? I was about to say our sponsors. I was just about to say, I don't know, but what I was saying is that having a center, a place to return to, understanding. But it goes back once again, the organizational thought. You got to come back and organize your thoughts. And then you got to we got to take one place and hey, this is what we're about. I love the people, the aspirational folks that come in and they're always like, yeah, they're going to do this. They're going to make, $300 million in the first year and all that stuff. And they can't tell you how they're going to do it. They have absolutely no idea how they're going to do it. You're like, so how you going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going, work hard. That's usually what it is. I'm going to work hard and do it. But it doesn't work like that. So, I'm just trying to put it out here. I thought this was a great topic. We were on the fly. Because I think this is a time of year too. It's after Labor Day.
All the summer fun is gone.
Yeah, well, the fall.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. That's what I'm saying. So bear with us in case things go flip, fly. And good thing that we've had a good show thus far, because anything can happen. we on storm watch over here. It might go down. So, yeah, I mean the weather, but yeah, we dead in hurricane season. Knock on wood. Well, I don't want it, because we headed on this cruise in a couple of weeks, so I'm not trying to promote the hurricanes, but it's a fact of life. And even with that, I'm prepared. If something's left with it, I'm prepared. Contingency plans. Always have to have a plan B. But I think that's a way of life, And I also, interestingly enough, I think it's a characteristic of moving away from technician thought, because you start having a 180 view of things, if not a 360 view. So when you're a technician, you do the work, you do the job. That's it. I did it. I did the job. Things like that. But when you start stepping away and you start thinking about more, I think it makes you. I think it might make you a better business person, possibly. Well, or take you down that E-Myth corridor that we always talk about.
Well, you become an editor at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's your term, the editor. So instead of the writer, you're the editor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it made sense when I ran across that statement.
I mean, it does. It makes sense.
The CEO, business owner, becomes the editor, of the business, right? you know, not the writer.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you can lock your head around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
You're
sense.
not writing the story. You're not doing all the writing. You just, I mean, it does make a lot of sense. But what
Yeah,
if
it's
you,
good. What if you what? Go ahead, say it. Just keep it
what
clean.
if you a CEO of one? So how does that work when you're the CEO of one?
Okay, it works. You know how it works.
How does it work?
You still have to edit your environment.
I got you. I got you.
You might
I'm
be the CEO. I know where you're going with that. You might be the CEO of one of your business, right? Okay,
Mhm.
all right. But in that, I get where you're going in that mind frame because technically, you know, you're just the all. I get it,
What?
right? No, hold on,
Yes.
wait, time. Where's my white paper?
Yeah.
Easy,
I'm
easy.
chilling.
All
I'm
right.
chilling.
So,
I'm chilling.
however, but you're see, you know me. I'm always flipping things around anyway, right? So only so because it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have to edit your environment because most times either you're in an environment you didn't create, and that's the environment that you start out in, or that's the environment you end up in, or there's an environment that you choose that you want to be in. And I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
environment in terms of living or location. I'm talking about just it can be environment of anything. If your office is unorganized, you got to control that environment. You have to edit that environment. Your outside is not right. Edit your environment. Your people that support and surround you that you go into these environments in. If that's not the proper environment, you edit the environment. So
I know. I got you.
I'm gonna tribute to that.
I will, and I like that. I like that. I was trying not to use my little snark there because I did some research and see this is what I'm saying. So I was just looking. A CEO is the head of an organization, and you can have an organization of one. So you can be the head of the organization of one, chief executive. That's the paper definition. Now, some people, when they say it, I think where my snark comes from is that people say they're the chief executive officer, but they only do the thing that they do. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't,
That's
they,
that's just that's
you
just
know,
that's misinterpretation though,
I know,
right? And
but I
that's
had to stop petty.
I know, but that's not. But you know, that's a misinterpretation of information and what the world has put out, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
social media. People on social media, you know, they're renting clothes, renting jewelry, renting cars, renting homes, renting families, man, renting all of these things and say, hey, I can show you how to get this, right? And it's like now you got to take all that stuff back until it's time for you to rent it again,
Yeah, that's kind of
right?
whack.
So you know, again, it's propaganda, it's programming, man. It's like, and that's why we, you know, I think we've talked on a lot of episodes. Reading is important. Education is important. There's a lot of stuff, information out here, and if you read, you know, you'll gain certain understandings, and you'll gain new questions that you must. Once you think about a question or a thought is provoked, naturally you're going to need to seek that answer, and it's going to eventually put you in the room with people that you could begin to carve out that discussion and to get that insight so you can move
Mm-hmm.
forward, right? And so I think most people intentions are great, but this goes back to my earlier point. organization. You know, we have a lot of we deal with a lot of people. They don't know, they're not organized. Then we're in that chaotic world, right? Which way do we go? First you want me to organize my brain, but then which way you want me to go? Because the world is in chaos. So now we have to teach them and provide information and resources where they can function in chaos, which actually strengthens you, right? And so, you know, a lot of the business owners that are out there, yeah, even though they're a business of one and they are a technician first based off of the rule of the E-myth. Let's use that, right? Okay, but then in their mind, they like, I'm a CEO, I'm in charge of my. Okay, good. So I'm going to say that they have the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal of becoming a CEO, which is not a bad thing because the CEO is actually a place of action and functionality by definition. But if you got the mindset, if you got the mindset of where you're at, great. Now let's create the structure to get you there. And how do we do that? We don't do that by ourselves. This is a team sport across the board. And I think that's the challenge and the frustration of all. I know I constantly still go through it.
Yeah, but yes, I understand. I'm good. I'm having my moment. My moment is past. I'm just, you know, I think where it stems from is this, and I 100% agree with everything you just said, 100%. But we started with a sports analogy, and I'm entering a sports analogy again. When I constantly say that this stuff is full contact, is a full contact activity. When you're starting anything, you're starting any initiative, you're starting a nonprofit, you're starting whatever you're starting, it's full contact. You're going somewhere. So running around and saying you're this and that for the sake of saying this and that. And I find it a lot because people say it in social settings like to kind of, I don't know, give themselves status or something. You know, I'm the president and CEO of whatever. And you like, oh, how many employees you have? Oh, it's just me. Okay. You could have just told me you founded it, right? You don't have to tell me. You give me executive positions, you know, but I might be a little extra. I will admit it. I'm a little extra about it. But, you know, it's just like, to me, a lot of the stuff, you touched on it with the social media, and hey, you could look like whoever you want. That people, I'm just concerned that people don't learn and they don't put the time in it to build these things the best they can do. Like they, you know,
that goes back to what you said. It goes back to FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And see, let me just lay this out. See, you come from an early place of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Right? So the earlier you get to see it, the earlier you get to be indoctrinated into it. Creates a different space mentally. You know what I mean? It's like someone not growing up in poverty or poor, and they grow older, and then now all of a sudden they don't even know how to understand it, or they become poor and in poverty, and they like, what? You know, so I think for the most part, we're detached, right? And when I say detached, we're constantly looking for the answers on the outside, and it's a natural thing because we're driven by sight, not by faith. A lot of us, right? It's not until we turn on the inside of ourselves and believe in ourselves and constantly question what we don't know. And a lot of times we don't know what we don't know, but we got to say, hey, what don't I know? What do I need to learn? And then how do I effectively achieve what I want. And in doing that, that's not easy because you wake up every day like, what in God's name am I doing? Why am I doing this today? Because when you do start a business, one with purpose in particular, because there's some businesses out here that they may serve a purpose, but the people,
out here.
You got people that just say, I'm gonna throw money at this, set it up, put some people in place, and they off to the races chilling. They could care less about certain things as long as the profits are in place, right? Then you got people that could do that, and they do care about stuff. But for the ones that they wake up every day, feet on the ground, and they run it, it's an emotional roller coaster all way. And so, with that in mind, if you don't learn the uncomfortability and the principles and the values of it early on in life, or you don't have a good, solid network around you, it's the uncomfortability of asking for help. It's who do I ask for help? How do I ask for help? How do I not make myself feel? Because it's not about looking stupid first. It's how do I not make myself feel stupid? And then the exterior becomes a problem. Right. And so that's where people, people they're very they're very vigorous in their communication, or they try to sound technical with questions after they Google something or somebody told them to do something, right? And so they want to seem bigger than where they are. And that's just a safety mechanism. But a lot of people mean well, bro, right? They mean well. They just don't know how.
I know. But that's what.
Not everybody got a you on their team.
Well, it's not just okay. Fine, I get that. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to. It's just like, man, just being honest. Like to me, it's just being vulnerability, showing the vulnerability.
Nobody people don't. How do we wear that?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those, like political things.
Okay. Well, the only way you wear that, okay, again, we talk about so many things because we read stuff and then we're working and we're initiating, we're taking action, we're implementing, we try and think, we're doing stuff, right? We're talking to people, we're helping people, providing services. We get digging into the nitty gritty of things, but it all come back to, what don't we know that we need to know? Oh, we could say, okay, we're providing this. Most people go maybe 2-3 levels down. We already 10 to 15 levels deep in a couple of different things we're doing because we keep picking it apart. But that comes from, and what on a Saturday or Sunday, what you doing? Oh, I'm sitting here reading and working through this technology and this process. Oh, you know what? Look, check your email or check our communication portal. I just sent you over something I wrote. And then look at the breakout points for that. Correct? Oh, go look at the data points on this, that, and that. Who's doing that? Other than
I don't know.
other than I'm just saying, other than the corporations or the companies that can they pay somebody. That's somebody's role.
That's their job. I get it. I mean, I do. I understand. When you put it like that, I get it. So my angst is down. I just make my little smart comment every now and then because
I get it.
It's not for me. It's not so much. And I get people don't know to do it and whatever, but it's just like, man, how do you? All right, here's an example. And we got the first proprietor on the show, so he can say that. So yes, I grew up my whole life watching what he's doing. He always had some hustle, something, selling clothes, restaurant, bowling alley, I've seen all that. Aside from all the things and all the years that he said to me, and you just made my belief system, and I'm do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I get all that. But even with taking all that, for me, it's always been like how to build on that, how do you build? So even if I'm starting from scratch, because like I say about CPA firm from the grip, I had no idea how they made money, like to the extent that it was like, oh, it's a CPA firm. Like I was like, because we sole proprietors, we doing the thing. What? Okay, yeah, you need some work. Yeah, I need this. What's up? I'm gonna charge you this. It was from that perspective. I had to learn a CPA firm, like how it operates. I'm still learning. Don't know everything. Still learning to put a frame. So that desire, I guess that maybe that's what it is. That desire to get better. And for sure, I am by no means satisfied. Not even close to satisfied. Not even satisfied is not even in my vocabulary. Like it's not even, because there's a desire to get better. That's where I always say that's something that, and then I'm not saying you have to have a voracious, like my man said, relentless intent. I'm saying, well, darn, man, it seems like it's so hard for people to be like, man, I know this could be better. They get defensive. This is what you said earlier. They get defensive instead of being like, I know, and I know this could be better, and I got to find a solution to do it. Starting with me, like I have to be more organized. I have to do it. The number of clients that we've come across that the finger is pointed somewhere else, and then they call themselves CEO. I think that's the one that gets me. They're the CEO, but it's everybody else's fault. See, that's the part that irks me.
That's the world, right? That's the world.
Yeah,
right? That's the world. It is what it is in most cases, but here again, see, I'm gonna go science on you, man. And I wish I knew this. Instinctively, I kind of knew this because you and I share similarities when it comes to our being guided by our fathers, right? So your dad instilled in you at a very young age principles of individuality and how to forge your way to get what you want, learn what you need to as a young man, very early in your life. So from ages 0 to 7. I don't know how you go 9 months, come out and start at 0 again, but okay. 0 to 7, 7 to 8, you're in theta mode. So what's happening is information is shaping the brain, right? And then that starts to play out in your life. So we're obviously, we're not the only ones. There's quite a few people on the planet that's gone through this. But for the most part, you've seen it. Like you said, you've seen the many. It's different when you tell a kid, do as I say, not as I do. When kids go, I'm going to do as you do, I'm going to hear what you say. But when you have examples, that's why TV is a programming. People watch it, then they want to play it. Like, this cat's jumping off of buildings thinking they Spider-Man and Superman, right? and the landing is messed up. You know what I mean? You have army shows out here. You have all kinds of, and you got people going out here with these assault rifles thinking they playing a video game with real people expressing their emotions, right? And so it's what raises you. It's what raises your children. It's what raises the environment and the communities we in. That's why I say, not everybody has that thing, but then there's people like you, there's people like your dad, there's people like me, there's people like others that's a part of our network, right? And the soon to come people that we haven't met yet, but that are in place to help people. Because at the end of the day, we here to help. And now we do run across audacity. I'm not even going to front, and I'm not sitting here saying that this all peaches and cream, because people with audacity gets on my nerves too. But then I got to ask myself, all right, does that even really belong to me? And how can I use that? Because that's information. Maybe I haven't ran across that type of personality yet. So how do I beef up my service value? You know, see, I'm trying to stay in a certain lane. I'm not going, you know, I'm
Well,
staying
yeah,
middle
yeah. Well,
because
you
that's just
different.
the that's it because it's just the way that it is, you know. It's
Yeah,
about
I get it.
it's about acceptance, my brother. You know.
I know. I mean, I'm getting there under your tutelage, you know, because me, my patience level is not. It's getting better though. I will say that it is getting better. So I mean, but it's just sometimes you know you run into folks, and you spoke about another portion too. As we get ready to sign off, but you know, it's just kind of understanding where you are in a process, and it's not. It doesn't. I don't disparage people that haven't come to the same level. I think I
Mhm.
get frustrated where I'm like, listen, I've swept the stairs off. If you would just look at the stairs, you know, and you may walk them different, but look at the stairs. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, you know, like, why waste, you know, we got so much quote unquote catching up to do. Why do you make it harder? You know, just,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
It's
like why do we do this? And you fall into this trap of these images of it because everybody puts out on social media success. Hey, look at me, this, and that. Then you get their financial statement, and I start laughing. I'm like, yo, really? Like, oh, so that's what you're doing, huh? Yeah,
you know the theory behind that. They don't teach us that in school, man, at an early age. You know,
I know.
if they taught financial statements at an early age, if they taught organization at an early age, and they taught a couple other things, but those things right there would help society a lot better. But as you can see, it's not. You know, the the the
Yeah,
powers
it's
to be
not.
wouldn't be powers to be wouldn't make money if everybody knew what they knew.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Even though I think it's an abundance of opportunities out here, but you know,
yeah,
we
but
got
this is my
the classes.
yeah. Well, here's my final statement before I drop the music. But if you know that it's not taught to you, and now the information is open source, what's stopping you from getting it?
Right, and that's what I'm saying to you. Is nothing stopping you from getting the information, but how do you? It's the how do you process? Like
Mm,
I've learned some things from you that I thought I knew, but when I sit here and go through certain exercises and actions, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's like you take the long way. Remember how you had to write out a math problem? So when I was growing
yeah,
up, my father say, if you didn't write out the math problem, I'm gonna assume you cheated because
got you.
it's not the answer you need, it's how did you arrive at the
Process.
answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
because and if you make a mistake, we could go directly to the mistake, correct the mistake,
Hmm.
so you could keep moving forward instead of going all the way back. Instead of and then
Yeah.
saying, I don't know, right? So
Yeah.
so that's what it is. Is how do we, you know, and how do we
Everybody's
look at
short
it?
forming.
It's how
Yeah.
do we figure it out? Put it right in front of people and they go, I don't think I understand that. Right? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Maybe I understand it, and they go implement it wrong. And then they come back and they go, but I thought I did it right. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't even do it right. But so it's how do you wrap your mind around that, which is it's difficult. And then we have all this other programming that we're trying to get rid of in our lives because now we're trying to learn something new to be self-sufficient, be leaders, be important. Now we got to provide for our family and everybody else. Provide for the family. Then we got to pay these bills. Then we got to do this. And we got to do that. Once your feet land in the morning until they land at night, you're like, what in the heck did I decide to do? I can't even. I'm the one that got to turn the light off at the end of the night. And
Mm.
most places they got to go. They walk out and leave all the lights on.
Yeah. True. All right.
So that's why I say mental organization. Sometimes you got to have that compartmentalization of
Mm-hmm.
things. I need something else to drink. compartmentalization of things, so you could go into that filing cabinet, pull it out and say, but even that's a challenge because your filing cabinet, you go from 2 draw, 3 draw to a 10 draw, then you got 10 of them jokers.
Yeah. So that's it. And we're going to revisit this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was started out. Great show. I'm glad to have everybody in. If you're checking us out, don't forget, go to heywardcpa.com for your accounting needs. Biz Therapy.
BizTherapy.info
for all you out there.
For your how-to wrap around.
Yeah, how to organize your mind. That's the thing. How to organize your mind
and your business.
What's important though is that you if you're in the game, you think about it. Professional athletes, why do they need coaches? So just because you have a business, you run a business, don't think that you don't need a coach. You don't need someone that's observing your stuff to guide you and to be your best. So it's really important to do that. So don't forget, we are here on YouTube, Heyward CPA at YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. We appreciate you logging in, and we will see you in DOS. Well, will we? Right before I break out, we'll be in. So we check out the deuces. Talk to you. Peace.
Still live.